Hey guys, it's Damien.
And I'm Kenady, and we're so glad that you joined us here today. Now, if this is your first time, we love to give tips and advice to help you cultivate a healthy relationship from A to Z. And remember to like, share, and subscribe so we can get this message across the world. Now, if this isn't your first time, you're probably wondering what happened to our setup. Damien, should we fill them in?
It's a long story, but it all started with this. Which led to this.
So fill them in on what that sound was.
Kenady, it's been a long week. It's been a long week. But that sound was not baby pterodactyls at all, but it was baby squirrels in our attic. And it's just been back and forth trying to get these things out of our house. And the second video was because one of the handlers or the squirrel catching people were in our attic, and the squirrel actually jumped at the guy and he stepped on a sprinkler system in our apartment and water got everywhere in our living room.
Hence the umbrella.
Yeah, and hence why we're set up like this. But one of the things that me and Kenady love to do is laugh. And even though that this was misfortunate, it was a big inconvenience, we laughed through it.
Yeah.
Because this is marriage. You have to be flexible. And we was like, the show must go on, right? And that's why we're here today.
So these are the only thing that didn't get ruined in the water system, sprinklage, downpourage in our living room. But we're thankful for it only hit our living room, not our bedroom or other areas. So in our apartment complex has been great with getting the situation handled. So, all right. So today's video, as we know, 2020 is coming. So we thought our next couple of videos would be based on looking back on how 2019 has been and then looking forward to 2020. So today's video, we want to talk about just our videos throughout 2019. Yeah. And next week we'll be doing just in our life in general, just reflecting on 2019. And then the third video, we're just going to cast vision for 2020. So we have some questions that we're going to ask each other. So I'll go first. As many of you know, we started our YouTube channel this year in 2019. So Damien, my first question for you is, why did we start a YouTube channel?
So why did we start this YouTube channel? I think me and you talked about this over time. People were thinking that it just popped up, that, they just started a YouTube channel. This was something that's been laid on our hearts for a long time, several months, of how can we take the blessing and the information that we received in our courtship, in our dating, and our engagement, and just give it to people. And so that's why we started. We wanted to just give this information because we have a passion for relationships, a passion for people to do relationships right, and also a passion for people's souls to be restored. Yeah. We see a lot of hurt people, which are hurting people in their relationships. But what about you? Why do you think we started?
Well, first, I just am grateful that we did start when we started. Yeah. I know, to be honest, I was thinking, we're planning a wedding, we're writing a book. I can't really think about that right now. I envision us being married, and then when we have time to do it. But you felt led that we should start, and I'm glad that I submitted in that area and trusted your leading, because it really has been not even just enriching for other people, but ourselves. Yeah. We've grown a lot. It holds us accountable, making sure we're getting in the Word and just living what we're talking about on these videos. So pretty much just showing our passion for healthy relationships and healthy individuals. We're just tired of seeing broken marriages and relationships without purpose, and so that's our passion. And so why not, take over the airwaves and give something that's life-giving, that is honoring God and just encouraging people to do it God's way when it comes to relationships and marriage.
And it's very positive.
Yeah.
Very positive.
It's fun.
Yeah, very fun. Second question. What was your favorite video?
My favorite video. I would say probably the one that we did when we came back from our honeymoon.
Okay.
Just doing the, just the overview of the wedding, the trip, Cabo. We always hear funny stories that happen to us. So it was just great. And then we also announced our dropping of our book. So that was, probably my favorite video that we did.
My favorite was probably the testimony. I think it was like the easiest one to do because we have told that story many of times, but it is our story. We don't have to make it look all grand or whatever. It is what God has done in our lives. So I think that was my favorite.
Yeah, that's good. Good. So my question to you, what was the funnest video that we did?
Funnest video. I think the Christmas one.
Yeah.
Now, Kenady thinks I am a Scrooge in Christmas. But she brought this idea to me to do this Christmas video and just reminisce on our past family events and things like that and the music. And it was the funnest video that we did.
Yeah.
So what
and
about
funny.
you? And funny. Yeah, it was funny.
I'd agree with that one. Was really fun, and just kind of playing the little music and whatnot. But also the first one that we did, because it was so like spontaneous. It was not like staged, and just the funny mishap through my birthday and my past birthday as well too. So an annual birthday mishap. But it was just really fun, just spur of the moment. Nothing was perfect. My hair was a mess, lighting was horrible.
Yeah.
But it was just like something fun, and it was just the beginning of our vision and the birth of this. So that was probably the funnest one to do.
And that was like off cuff. But so many people, want to start a channel, Kenady. But truth be told, it is difficult to continue to have content. And it takes a lot of work and a lot of study. And so my question for you is, what was the most difficult video to do? Most
difficult? I'd say order was pretty difficult, but maybe just our testimony as part as, my past and everything, that is still something that is difficult to share. Not that I'm dealing with it or not, but just kind of like being that transparent.
Yeah.
So being so authentic and transparent in front of the camera, you don't know how many people are going to see it, but it's something that God is continuing to work on, to just be free and showing people what God can do in your life if you submit. No matter your past, no matter what you've been through, gone through, He will use everything and make it beautiful and for His glory. And so that was probably the most challenging one, but so rewarding. So what about you?
So for me, I believe the series on order, but this specifically sexual immorality.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty difficult. Not that we didn't have everything together, but we wanted to make sure that we were saying things that doesn't just please the audience or just accept stuff. But we really wanted to go into the Word of God and show step by step, systematically, what was the things that God was saying about sexual immorality. So yeah, that was most difficult because we studied a lot and we prayed a lot and we just, but one day we was just laying in bed and then God just dropped it on us, and it was over after that.
I think, that really happens in all of our videos. I'm not sure if people are aware, like we are really trying to be diligent in giving biblical truth and not just talking out of our flesh or what sounds good or what we want to talk about, but really being led by God. And so that one was definitely very spiritually challenging. Like you just felt like you were just like, ugh. Yeah. But so glad that God was able to work through us, and just, that's what we really rely on, the Spirit of God, and just really being diligent and studying and praying and being faithful to give the audience sound truth.
Truth, yeah.
So, awesome. So, what was the most impactful one in your life?
what was the most impactful video? I believe in our other series, Overtime, we just started, was probably the video that was most impactful for me. I talked about how I'm not a virgin anymore. I actually came into my marriage as a virgin. And so that one was so just impactful. But to answer your second question and why, so many times I was struggling through my own doubts, my own fears, my own insecurities in this process of being a virgin. But I was just staying just like with God and like, just praying. Not that becoming a virgin was the end all thing, but it was what he told me and what I saw in his word. And now being on the other side, seeing the blessing of waiting for that. So
yeah, that's good. That's good.
What about you?
Probably really the ones that were pertaining to being married, about to be married, like expectation. Because though we were talking about it, it was really, we were preaching to ourselves.
Yeah,
so like communicating the expectations that we have for one another, being realistic and knowing, is it really that big of a deal? And also just what we wish we would have known after the wedding day. And so just encouraging each other, becoming one. And so I think it's great that we are doing these videos as we're learning, and it's not like something that we're pros at, but it's like God is teaching us this through these videos and even in our studying, and even with past experience and stuff too. So I think those, just as we were becoming husband and wife, those videos pertaining to that has really been impactful for me and challenging.
So here's my last one question for you, Kenady. What did you learn through the process?
What did I learn through the process? Really just trusting God, like we mentioned before. Trusting Him to not only speak through us, but doing the work in us. And so a lot of things that we talked about were things that we had to deal with or are continuing to work on, and even being transparent. So just really trusting God. Things don't have to be perfect, and just really, it doesn't even have to be popular. I know a lot of our things haven't been popular, especially with order, but just trusting God through the process, trusting that He will give us the words to do the video ideas, and just really, because we don't want to just do this for the fun of it and look cute. We really care about people's legacy and their marriage and their life and relationships, and so just really trusting Him to do the work in us and get it through us. It's been what I've learned. So what about you?
For me, that we can do it. That's one of the things. I'm the more systematic, logistical person. And so being in order is the lifestyle that we live. And so just putting the camera up, the lighting up, and just doing all of that, just learning how to do that and still live in a peaceful environment.
And all the editing you did
too. And all the editing.
You're pro editing now.
That we've done. And also how we work together. That's a big thing. We work well together. It's really no arguing over different things. We sit down, we study, and we plan these things out. But just learning that this is my rib, this is my spicy barbecue, honey barbecue.
I just turned spicy like a month ago. I used to be just honey barbecue rib. Now it's spicy honey barbecue.
Spicy honey barbecue. But that we really work together well. That I want to do this for the rest of my life, in whatever capacity. It might not be videos. It might just be on stage or never on stage. But I just want to do it with Kenady. And so, that's what I learned.
All right, let's wrap it up with the last question for today's video. What videos are you looking forward to doing in the new year?
Ooh, I think the next series is one of my favorite. And we're not going to drop the title now, but the next series is probably a video that I am looking forward to. What about you?
Probably just anything that as we learn, like I know we're babies in the marriage game, but just I know there's tons of lessons to be learned that we can pass on, and just continued new levels. Like I want God to do new things in us, and so not just the cliche how to catch a man in 90 days or whatever, you know, but just we want meat.
Yeah.
We want meaty videos in 2020.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but just life changing, and they really bless us and me, you know, and so just really just allowing God to take us to higher levels and deeper revelations in His Word in regards to relationships and marriage. So.
That's good. Well, that's our video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel below, and we'll see you next time. So my name is Damien Nash.
And I'm Kenady Nash.
And we'll talk to you later. Bye.